Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Hello everyone and welcome to Ask Rob and Rob, the show where you give us your property questions and we give you answers. A simple format that we deliver on every single Tuesday and we now repeat in the Sunday Times each and every Sunday. Find us in the home section there. But before we get into the first question, let's give you a quick reminder of how you can get your question in to us.
Yeah, it's so easy. Just call 013 808 0035 or go to propertyhub.net/ask. Either way, you just have to speak your question, send it our way, and we will get it answered for you. Just like we're about to now for Jordan.
Hi, Rob and Rob. Thank you so much for everything you do. I'm a long-time listener of the show and have bought 2 properties in Liverpool over the last few years, in many parts thanks to the confidence that listening to you guys has given me. So thank you very much. I'm going to be cheeky today and ask you 2 questions. My first question is about Liverpool. So Liverpool is a city that I got the impression that you guys were very excited about when I started listening to the show a few years ago, but I hear you talk about it less now than you did before in terms of your predictions and hotspots and where you think is very exciting to invest within the country. So I'm just wondering if your perspective on Liverpool has changed, and if so, why? And my second question is about diversification. So as I already have 2 properties in Liverpool and I'm now thinking about buying a third, I can see pros and cons for making that third within Liverpool. So the pros would be that I already have knowledge of that area and I already have relationships with estate agents, etc. in that area. The cons is that it'll be less diversified in the event that something bad happens in Liverpool in particular, with regards to property prices or employment or anything else for that matter. So yeah, really keen to get your thoughts on those 2 questions. Thank you again.
All right, I'm taking this one, Rob, because we can't talk about Liverpool and not let me have a little bit of a chinwag. So Jordan, as you are talking about one of the greatest cities in the world, I will answer both of your questions. For those who think, oh no, Rob's going to be biased, I have to remind listeners that we have not included Liverpool as a hotspot this year. But does that mean it's a bad place to invest? No, far from it. There was a very specific reason why we warned people about Liverpool this year and didn't include it in our hotspot list. And that is because we said you should be very wary of new build projects in Liverpool. It's not to say every new build project is an automatic avoid, but there are a lot out there, and there's been a lot of horror stories in the past of new builds not completing, not even getting out the ground. We've been even burned by that experience. It's just a minefield, and we're not overly sensitive to it because, you know, we've had experiences there, but we've just seen it across so many different developments and from so many different developers. So if you are going to buy a new build in Liverpool, be ridiculously cautious. Now, does that mean you should then ignore Liverpool as a whole? No, far from it. There is loads and loads to like about Liverpool. It's got a world-famous status, and that does matter. That really does matter. That really helps to attract investment. And you look at Liverpool Waters, the huge project that has kicked off now. It's not just a pipe dream. That has kicked off. That is something that will transform the city. Over the Mersey, Wirral Waters as well. That is a massive project. But without those projects, Liverpool in its own right is a great place to invest. Fantastic universities. The affordability levels of housing are great as well. So, can you invest in Liverpool and do very well in 2024? Absolutely. Now, for the second part of your question, should you diversify? Maybe. But you can diversify in different ways within the same location. So Liverpool is not just one road. There are different places to invest in Liverpool and different types of investment. So you can invest in the city centre, of course, but there are all different regions as well. So if you've currently made 2 investments already in the city centre, then maybe South Liverpool could be your third. And because it is very different and a very different rental market and a very different area, that may be enough diversification where you'll be fine. You can also diversify in the types of properties that you invest in. So if you've done a couple of apartments so far, maybe your third one could be a house. Now, the easiest way to diversify is to say, okay, well, let's do the next one in Manchester. But if you are having success in an area, that is a way that you can still get some diversification, which is a good thing in property investment, and still take advantage of the knowledge and the contacts that you've built up there. But at some point, it may be worth moving on. But for a third property, I still think you can diversify enough within the same location that you'll be fine. Good luck, Jordan.
Thank you for your question, Jordan. Let's have another one now from Kay.
Hello, Rob and Rob. My name is Kay. We are based in Sussex. And first of all, I'd like to thank you both for the phenomenal amount of work you put into the podcasts and the YouTube channels. And thanks to you, we have now invested in a few small properties around in the UK, according to your advice for locations, etc. Really, thank you very much. I really appreciate this, and it's been phenomenal. I have a question today. You and all the other property owners who own apartments, have you all noticed quite a big rise in the service charges lately, as we have? I'd like to ask you for some advice, please. First of all, how do we know that the increment is acceptable? And secondly, if it is higher than it should be, how do we contest it? I'll be grateful if you can shed some light into this. And once again, thank you very much for everything that you do.
Okay, thanks for your question. I'm glad you found the podcast and the YouTube channel useful. I must say, I haven't personally particularly noticed a big increase in service charges. I have seen the energy cost element go up, understandably, but that's probably about it. But if you have seen an increase, how do you know if it's reasonable, and what can you do if you don't believe it is? Well, you've actually got quite a few rights under the law. So first of all, the freeholder or their managing agent, when they send you a service charge demand, there are certain things that it needs to have on there. One of them is a summary of what the costs relate to. So a good demand, and they won't all be like this, will tell you what was estimated for last year, what was actual for last year, what the percentage what difference was, and a bit of commentary about why that difference existed, which will then give you some context about how they've set it for the coming year. If you don't get that summary, then you can demand it, and they have to make it available within a certain time. If you're still not happy, if there's still unanswered questions, you've also got the right to go and inspect all original invoices, receipts, and so on. And there's a certain amount of time that they have to make all that available to you. And if after doing that, you still think something's a bit fishy here, then you can actually go to tribunal and challenge the service charge, and the tribunal will decide whether it's reasonable. If you get to that stage, it's probably helpful to either have a solicitor on your side or band together with other owners, because presumably you'll all have the same charges, so they might be willing to get involved. I'm not going to give all the details on how to do each of those things because I want to keep it brief, but a great place to go and find out is the Leasehold Advisory Service. If you just Google Leasehold Advisory Service, their website has got tons of information, including template letters that you can send and all sorts. So Kate, that's the route I'd go down with that one, and good luck with it.
Well, that's us done for another week. Thank you so much. But don't worry, because on Sunday, we'll be answering more of your questions in the Sunday Times. Check out the home section and you'll see our smiling faces beaming back at you. And of course, the main event, the Property Podcast, will be with you on Thursday. So until those two wonderful events occur, take care, have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.